issue 45 of Build Your Own McLaren. We're going to be carrying on assembling the damper. First, we recover the engine and gearbox. Then we take the damper. This is the inertia damper. And this will get, we will fit this in this location here. There's obviously the two holes on either side of those, and there's some little tabs on them. So the one with the black, the rod, the damper rod, goes through the side, and it gets fitted on like that. Right, so I'm gonna just put this side in first. Right, that's went in. You can do it popped in. That side's popped in. So just be careful that you don't push down on these. So okay, that's looks like that's located correctly. As you can see. Right, you take the this section here and the crank relay rods there, you hook over these crank arms. So you can see there's a half hook on that, and they hook over both on both sides there. And then you put some adhesive on the 6 lugs there, and they locate into these positions. So I'm just gonna hook these over. There's one. That's number 2. And then I'm going to have to turn it round, then just lift up, put some adhesive on these, and then pop them in there. So I'm going to super glue these, I think. So if I just get some Gorilla Glue. If I do the 1, 2, okay, and then locate those. Just double check, so it's in. Crank is on. Right, so I'm just gonna hold that in until the glue goes off. Make sure they're in straight. I'm just going to wait for that glue to go off now, and then we'll carry on and put the damper in. Next we take the 3rd element damper, which we made in issue 42. So that we will locate the one with the reservoir tank will go to this side, and then the other one connects across there. There is an adjustment screw in the center if you need to lengthen or shorten this. So it doesn't shorten it a great deal, but you can lengthen it if it needs to be. So I'm just gonna slacken it off slightly. So you just connect it on this side first. So I'm just going to have a rough look at it. So if at center, that's probably about right there. I don't need to lengthen it anymore. So I'm just going to pop this in. And it's going to locate in lug. So you've got 2 pins there, and locating lug that side and one on that side. So that is located. Reason why that was slack with the screws that we stuck through here to hold this push rod on. If you slacken them off, so where the fork is, it's basically pulled the fork in like that when you're screwing it together, and then when you slacken the screw off, it comes out like that, and it actually tightens up against you. So I've slackened them both on both sides there, and it fills now. The fork is widened, and it's not loose anymore. So next we take the engine upper engine covers. So there's 2 locating tabs here, and there's 2 locating holes in the engine, and there's a little tab there which goes into this little slot. So I'm gonna just put some adhesive, super glue on these spots here, and then we'll glue it in like that. And then I'll do the same for the opposite side. A bit on there, a bit on there, a bit on the tab. So you can see where it is, the 2 locating lugs and the cutout where the tab is. So I'm just gonna locate the holes, push it on, and then I'm just going to put where the tab is. I'm just going to put some there just to force it out against the tab, so the glue until the glue dries. So it shouldn't take long. There we are. So that section is now complete. Build your own McLaren issue 46. Start assembling the underbody paneling. Next you recover the underbody. Then you got a lower side pod cowl. So there's a little locating hole there and a locating hole there where a screw goes through. So there's the locating tab on this side, and then this will go over this tab, and you put a screw through there. But what we need to do is scrape a little bit of the paint off there, put a little bit of adhesive on the inside there, and glue it on before we put the screw in. So we're going to do that for both sides. So if I just move this slightly out of the way, just going to scrape a bit of the plastic or the paint off that. Just basically where the tab is. So we've got to be quite careful with the thing. I don't want any of the adhesive spilling on the outside. So I'm just going to get a little bit of ABS adhesive. I'm going to get a cocktail stick, and I'm just going to run a little bit on the edge there. Bit on this edge, and just a little bit on there. So then we will pop it on the first location point over there. Alright, so we got no spilling of adhesive on the outside. So I'm just going to hold that down for a little bit so that goes off. Okay. So that's looking good. And then we get make sure the surface is nothing on there. We get a screw, which is a Type C screw, and then we screw that not over tightening. There we are. And then we'll do exactly the same for the other side. Next, we attach the nose cowl. This will fit. If you notice, it's like a tongue on that. It's a slight step on that side and that side. There's a step on both sides there. So this then will locate into this V with there's a hole at the top there, and that goes to the top. So it'll go in to that location like that. So what we got to do is we got to just take some of the paint off on the inside there, the paint at the top there, the some of the lugs there, because then we need to glue it into that location. So we'll just carry on cleaning it up. Right, I've cleaned some of the paint off the edges there, ready to stick this down. Once this section is dry, we've got a nose panel here that goes on, and basically there's a locating tab there and a locating hole, and there's a screw hole there. I've already cut the screw hole. So I've put a C-type screw, I've screwed it in, so it's a little bit easier. And then this locates on here and then screws in there, but we also need to run a little bit. I've cleaned up the edges there and in there, so this gets glued as well on here. So what I'm going to probably do is put the screw in and then just run a little bit of Tamiya thin on the edges. So I'm gonna put the Type C screw in. And that's screwed into place, as you can see. And then I'm just gonna run a little bit of Tamiya thin just on the inside there. I'm not going to glue it all the way up, but you don't need to by the looks of it. There's not any edges showing or anything. So issue 47 of Build Your Own McLaren. Now we're going to be starting to do the cockpit internal assembly stage 1. First, remove the upper left switch panel, which is this panel here, which you can see is a little D-type hole in it. Then we take the lever, which is this one, and we cut that off the sprue. The lever it's got a square, not a D-type, so it's got a square hole there, square, and that, so it only goes in one way into there. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of cyano on the rear. Oh, sorry, I'm going to put a bit of Tamiya thin on the rear. Next, we're going to remove the battery and connector from the sprue. So that's the battery and the connector. On one end of the battery there is a slot, and then this will slide into the slot like that. It only goes one way because that will be hanging over the side, so it goes in that way. Like that. So I'm just going to put a bit of adhesive in there and glue it in. Next we remove the switch panel from the sprue. That is the left hand one. Right, that is now glued there. We'll remove the other one from this sprue, the one for the right hand side. Just gonna clean the edge up. Noticed there's a slight ridge on that one and a slight angle. The ridge goes back and hooks over that piece there, so it goes like that. So basically one of the switches is slightly, or one of the is offset, so the offset is on the inside like that one. So I'm just going to put a bit of Tamiya thin on that. And we take that, make sure that the ridge is forward. Okay, that's glued in place. I'm going to separate the remaining parts off the sprue and then just put these to the side until we need them next. Okay, that's the end of this stage. Issue 48 of Build Your Own McLaren. We're going to be carrying on with the cockpit internal assembly. First we take the cockpit frame rear, so we just need to cut off this support. That's just there to basically stop that from breaking. So I'm just going to clean up the inside. Okay, that's that. Then we recover the cockpit piece. Then this will go on this location here. There's like a ridge, and that will fit on there like that. So I'm just gonna run a bit of glue around this edge and then glue it on. Okay, that is now glued on. Next we need to take out this base out of here with the 4 screws that we put in previously. So I'm just going to take those screws out. So I can then remove the base. Okay, let me just pull that out of there. Put this to the side. Next we retrieve the floor section, and this will temporarily just fit in its location, which is there. We then take the seat base, then these 2 outer lugs will fit into these 2, and then this will fit on top of that, so it goes in like that. So I'm going to temporarily screw with the 4 screws that we took out of the sides. I'm just going to use those just to screw the base down just to hold it in place. So we temporarily fitted this base in. So the only bits we're going to glue, we're not going to glue the two outers to there. They're just to locate it. We're just going to actually run some ABS glue along there, so it will actually just glue it down to this base there. But the outer ones are just for it to locate. So if I just put adhesive on these two and then stick it in. Right, so that base is now, seat base is now stuck down. So I'm just going to set that to the side to dry.